My attendant was with me in the Dominion before I primed. She would have watched the battle unfold and witnessed its outcome. I trust you'll be waiting for me in Tabor, where I can finally introduce you.
You know how I feel about this, but your brother's stubbornness knows no bounds. I'm starting to think it runs in the family.
Tell me you saw that.
It seems the hideaway's lost
blasted
its
book.
appetite. Can you blame?
Here, you put me in this situation, Clive. You can bloody well get me out of it. I need a hand with a recipe.
Are you sure it's me you're looking for? I'm not much of a cook.
I'm all the cook will be needing, thank you very much. What I want from you is a little of your time, right? Oh, and perhaps your sword. You remember Ivan's stew, right? Well, despite the look of the thing, and that awful stench, people wolf it down. So I thought I'd try making one of these supposed masterpieces myself. Had a peek at the book and gave it a go, but, well...
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped. Ivan had the same problem.
Yeah, but this is my blimmin' kitchen, and I will not be outdone. So if you don't want to be seen as playing favourites, I suggest you lend me a hand.
I've never been one to play favourites, Molly. And I would be only too happy to lend you a hand. So, what's on the menu this time?
A fried mortress of skyworm. That's one heck of a name, innit? Recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like myself. Thought I'd followed it to a T. Only, turns out skyworm livers and drake's mint are not what I thought they were. At least I hope they're not, given the rancid mess they made.
Ivan said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Who's to say the ingredients even exist anymore?
Wow. That's a question for a scholar, wouldn't you say? Perhaps you know of one? Kindly old fella who haunts the shelves, maybe?
Fine. I'll go and speak to Harpocrates. Perhaps he'll know something. And if he does, I'll see if I can find your ingredients for you.
You do that. Lest we forget, you've got a reputation to uphold.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be thunder?
Lawsman Harpocrates. I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind. It's about the book you lent Ivan.
Ah, Valisthea, a culinary pilgrimage, a classic. One of my favorites, in fact. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew. I do hope we shall be able to sample more such marvels in due course.
That's actually why I'm here. I don't suppose you know where I might find skyworm livers and drake's mint.
Ah, so the fabled Sandbrequois delicacy is next on the menu. Delightful. The descriptions of fried mortress never fail to make my mouth water. Now, skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern, their ground livers being the paste from which the mortress is made.
Dragon livers. How very Sandbrequois.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have a touch more reverence for their Eikon's brethren, but apparently not. I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback wyvern, said to be the very colour of the sea beside which it resides.
So we know where to look for our liver. But what about the drake's mint?
Saint's bonnet in contemporary parlance, a herb which grows along the North Reach coast. I gather that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers by their heady scent alone, so I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding them. I may add that people once believed game was best served with the flora that sustained it in life, in which regard fried mortress of skyworm is undoubtedly a typical dish of the time.
Meaning that if I find one, I find the other. To Northreach, then.
Best of luck, Clive. And do save me a bite once the dish is complete.
Sid, perhaps you can help me solve a mystery.
I can certainly try. Who's gone missing this time?
It's not who, but what. Mid-scales, the ones she made for her workshop. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, well, they vanished. My first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to play, but when I asked, they swore they had nothing to do with their having disappeared. Which almost certainly means they had everything to do with it.
Perhaps a visit from Sid will jog their memories.
I think it just might. Thank you. I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. But if they have, I'll have no choice but to discipline them accordingly. They were in the atrium when I last saw them. As always.
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
What am I gonna do?
Is everything all right, Goots? You seem more discomposed than usual.
Oh, I don't know what that means, but I'm in a bit of a muddle. Oh, I think Nan might be in trouble, and she's...
It's all right. You can tell me.
There was a trader came by. One of our usuals, like. Said he'd heard some rotten rumours about her down Dallimil Way. Folk are saying she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that. I mean, she's fond of a chance to make a coin or two, aye, but she'd never do business with baddies. Especially not the kind who go hurting people who haven't done out. I wanted to ask her about it myself, but I'm scared she'll give us a tongue lashing. She'd never give your tongue a lashing, though, would she?
Don't worry. I'll speak to her.
Oh, thanks, Clive. You'll let me know what she says, won't you?
Of course. I'm sure it's all just a misunderstanding. Lady Karen, how's business?
Not nearly as foul as the weather.
You're doing good trade, then? Both in and out of the hideaway?
Can't complain. Wait, what exactly are you getting at? Not once in 5 long years do you pay my affairs half a care. But here you are today, raking me over the coals like a bloody popoto.
Just asking. Out of interest. All right. I'm here because I was told that certain rumors have been circulating. About you selling weapons to brigands.
Oh, are you? And who was it who knows me so well as to tell tales of my evil exploits?
I didn't exactly hear firsthand. All I know is that someone in Dallimil has been spreading word to that effect.
And what? You believe it? You think I'm profiting off the blood of innocents, do you? Look, I've done things I'm not proud of. Might be there were a time when I turned a blind eye to the wretchedness of the world so I could line my pocket. But that woman is no more. And you'd know that if you'd ever paid the slightest bit of notice.
You're right, Lady Karen. I apologize. It was wrong of me to doubt you.
Aye, it was. Now, I reckon you've got better things to do than pointing your do-gooding finger at a poor old woman.
Of course. Good day. I spoke with Lady Karen.
What did she say?
That the rumors were unfounded, and that I was a fool for thinking they might hold any truth, along with some other things that made her feelings clear. And while it sounds like she may have done things she regretted in her past, she says those days are behind her.
Oh, well, that's good. I knew Nan wasn't caught up in out bad. But why would people say she was? What did she ever do to them? It's not right.
No, it's not. But people do things for all sorts of reasons. Perhaps we'll never know.
Well, I'm going to find out. That trader, he said they were all talking about her in Dalimil. So that's where I'm going. I'll find someone who'll tell me, you'll see.
Are you sure that's wise? Whoever's spreading these rumors means Karen ill.
Oh, right. But that's why you'll be coming with me, isn't it, Clive?
I suppose it is.
I heard the Emperor was impaled on his own son's spear.
We're all gonna die! You hear me? The Akashic are coming and they won't...
What do you reckon we should do? I say we should just tell Miss Shirley.
You'll get us all striped. I'm telling you, I can fix them.
Sid! Hard at your studies, I see. And what is that? It's not a set of scales, is it?
No. Of course it isn't.
Well, not anymore, it's not. Oh!
And just how long hasn't it been one?
We're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered them.
Just like Miss Mididol showed us.
Miss Mididol? And why would she have you dismembering her creations?
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Miss Mididol said, the best way to see how something works is to take it apart and put it back together again.
Well then, your work is already half done. Carry on.
About that.
The taking apart was easy enough, but it's the putting back we can't work out.
Speak for yourself. The heavy thing goes at the bottom. Then...
You three need to learn to take responsibility for your actions. So let's have a look at these parts with fresh eyes, shall we? All right. Everything here was once part of Miss Mididol's scales. Every piece has its own role to play, and each is just as important as the others. If even one of them is missing, the scales won't work. So let's think about what those roles might be. You already know one of the pieces, the body. Its role is to support everything else. But what of the others? These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan is, don't you?
I do. Molly uses them in the kitchens to fry bangers. But these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff. But what if I wanted to weigh goods? I don't think you'd fit on that little thing.
Probably not.
What are the chains for? Holding the pans up?
Well spotted. Which means something must hold the chains up in turn. This tiny piece is what's called a cogwheel, or gear. Have you ever seen one before?
I have. Miss Mididol's dungeon is full of them. Most are on the floor.
She puts them in all her inventions. They spin round and round and round and round and...
That's right. They're very useful when you want to make things move. Do you remember if there was anything on the scales that moved?
I remember the arm moved when I tried weighing an apple. And then somebody ate it.
It's not my fault. You shouldn't have tried weighing it before lunch.
We know what part's supposed to move and how it's supposed to move. So, let's put the pieces together first, see what doesn't move, and then stick the cogwheel to that.
Not a bad idea. You see? It's not so difficult. This is called the arm. Why do you suppose that is? It doesn't look much like an arm.
You're right. It looks more like a wing. Like a chocobo wing!
You've ridden a chocobo before, haven't you, Sid? Will you teach me to ride one day?
I'll think about it. Now, what do arms do?
Hold things. So wait, maybe this arm holds things too?
Good thinking. You're on the right track. So, now that we've taken stock of the parts and learned what they do, what do you think?
I think we've got it.
Then here's what we'll do. You tell me what goes where, and I'll put the scales together.
Well, obviously you need to start with the body. All the other pieces fit onto it, don't they?
And the arms go on the body, just like real arms. Or wings, if you're a chocobo. And then the arms hold the pans by the chains.
Very good. Let's see if that works. Ah, all finished.
Yes! We did it!
Well, with Sid's help.
Oh, I just put the pieces together. It was you three engineers who showed me how.
That's right. We're Miss Mididol's hairs.
Her hairs?
Yeah, hairs for the future. She's showing us her secrets now, so we can help out the hideaway when we're older.
What do you think, Sid? Are we almost ready?
With a little more help from Miss Mididol and Miss Shirley, I'd say it won't be long at all.
You hear that? It won't be long.
Until then, though, do try to be honest with Miss Shirley.
Hey, look! We never used the cogwheel.
You don't think Sid forgot about it, do you?
There's a storm coming, Sid. Will there be...
Well, did you solve the mystery?
It was as you thought. The children had the scales, or the parts of them at least. They dismantled them to see how they worked.
Oh, no, Mid will have my head.
Thankfully she won't. This might even have been her idea. Although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry, Sid. I know how busy you are. I shall see that the children are properly punished.
Please, there's no need. Mid seems to have taken the three of them under her wing. She's even calling them her heirs. She'd have them follow in her footsteps. And her father's.
I see. Sid, do you know why Mid has been spending so much time at the hideaway of late?
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted by events in Canva. Is that not true?
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. In exchange for full tuition, room and board, they asked her to oversee the design of several new war engines. To anyone else it would be an opportunity, but to Mid, who lost both her parents to war, it was a bitter pill. One she was none too keen to swallow. But that should come as no surprise. She's only ever cared about bringing people hope. The very last thing war can be said to do.
Which explains her heirs. She's working to give them a better life. And so should I. What's the odd engineering lesson?
Oh, you've given them far more than that. And I'm sure they're very grateful.
It's like a dream. The four of us out walking like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yote is a fine scout. If Canva was attacked, she will already have begun gathering information.
Tabor isn't far. We should pick up the pace.
We're not alone.
The bandits may be known, but look what they've left us with. We've a hard time.
It shouldn't be too hard to find goods.
Are the bagmen going to come back?
The gentlemen of the town guard are a strapping bunch.
Could be I know something more. What's it worth to you?
I've got 100 gil and a chocobo feather. Clive, listen! I found someone who says he's heard the rumours about Nan.
Have you?
Go on. Tell him what you told me.
All right. It's like I said. A wizened old crone by the name of Karen's been selling steel to whoever will pay her price. be they knight or knave. Says the more swords and spears she puts in people's hands, the more war they'll wage. And the more war being waged, the more call for swords and spears. And who will they all turn to keep them in steel? Why, the good Reaper herself.
And you've seen this Reaper at work?
Aye, it just so happens I have. You'll find her right here plying her trade most days.
Here in Dalimil? Where exactly?
She has a stall here in the market, but if you're not the patient type, you can probably find her at her storehouse on the edge of town. But it'd be a bolder man than me that braved that particular nest of vipers. Feeling bold, traveler? I hope so, for your sake. Now, if that's all, I have places to be.
Sorry to have kept you.
You don't think Nan's the Reaper, do you?
Not unless she's discovered the secret of how to be in two places at once.
Eh? What do you mean?
Lady Karen hasn't left the hideaway in weeks. So who has been running this stall he spoke of?
Good question. I'll go and have a look.
And I'll visit this storehouse on the edge of town.
All right, but be careful, Clive.
You too, Goots.
The gentlemen of the town guard are strapped by. What a mess. You fought very bravely.
The safety of the town is in our hands.
Time to brave the Viper's Nest.
Just you, is it? Thought I might have laid it on a bit thick.
It was a fairly unconvincing tale. So, what now?
That's up to you. Die a slow death, or a quick one? Boys, he's all yours. But that sword is mine.
Leave now, and we can pretend this didn't happen.
done it now.
Go on. Tell me what I've done.
When the Borgwyn finds out you've killed his men, he'll have your head. He only wanted that bull of a manservant, the dim one always clinging to Karen's skirts. You weren't even supposed to be here. Who the hell are you, anyway?
What were you going to do to him?
The Borgwyn wanted him to get to Karen. I was only supposed to point the lamp in the right direction once he arrived in Dalamil. But then you turned up. Well, go on then. If you're going to end me, end me.
You're not worth the effort. Now be gone, before I change my mind.
Fucking coward!
I need to find Goots. Right now.
Get your filthy paws off me, you naughty-pated lout!
Stop calling me names! And stop spreading them horrible lies about Nan!
Well, that will be easy enough. For they are not lies. Every last word is true. And she must pay for her crimes in blood.
Blood?
Goot, are you all right?
He's gonna kill Nan! He said she had to pay in blood!
After what she did, it is only right. She ruined my life and the lives of countless others. That loathsome harpy's very existence is a crime, and I will not allow it to continue. Goots, was it? I have no quarrel with you. Only with your employer. Run along now. You need not pay for her sins.
No.
No?
I don't care what she did. I won't let you hurt Nan. Promise me you won't hurt her, or I'll kill you myself!
Goots, no.
Enough, all of you!
Karen.
But how did you?
You're a sight less clever than you think you are, the pair of you. Did you think I wouldn't notice the two of you slinking off together? Well, the whole thing got me thinking, who in Dalamil might bear me a grudge? And a certain snivelling shit I ran afoul of in my fairy years came to mind. Though it was just Bogan back then, wasn't it? I thought the years might have taught you some sense, but I see you're the same pants-pissing craven you've always been. What was it we called you? Wet legs?
You bitch! Everything that happened, it was all your fault! And now you'll finally pay for what you did to me!
Goots, you...
If you want a piece of Nan, you'll have to go through me.
Fuck!
You great galoot. Out of the way, I can handle this myself. So, wet legs, you remember what you told me when we last met? An eye for an eye. Wise words, Sam. Wise words. And now, it's time to collect. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Is he...
Dead? No. But I reckon he wishes he was. It isn't easy going through life one eye short of a pair. After all, I should know.
You don't mean...
Oh, don't tell me you didn't notice. Lost it to old Wet Legs back when we were working the same routes. Said I'd stolen from his strongbox. I'd done nothing of the sort, mind. But that didn't stop him taking his little revenge. So I took some of my own. Sorry, lost everything. His coin, his clients. Always knew he'd be back one day to claim his due. But he crossed a line dragging poor Goots into this. He didn't hurt you, did he?
No, Nan. Still got all my arms, see? Legs too. But what if he comes back again?
What if he does? First we take the other eye, then we work our way down. He'll learn his lesson soon enough. But something tells me that Wet Legs has learned it already. Right. Let's get you back to the hideaway. You've attracted quite enough attention already. Ta-ra, Clive.
Remind me never to cross you, Karen. Time to fight. Hippocrates said I should be able to find what I'm looking for somewhere nearby. Bright blue dragons and bright yellow flowers. Should be easy enough to spot. This must be our wyvern. Right. Let's get this over with. That's the wyvern's liver. Now I just need to find the herbs. Bright yellow with a heady scent. I think that's everything Molly needs to resurrect her recipe. Better head back.
Nothing like a dish of cold vengeance to foul the gut.
I'm sorry, Nan. I didn't mean to make things worse. I just thought I had to protect you. Like you've protected me.
Aye, well, someone had to. Your parents certainly didn't give a whit for your well-being. Reckon the both of us would be worse off if I'd not taken you on. You've always been me right eye, Goots. And I'd have you stay that way. So don't you dare go looking for trouble again.
Well, I will. If you ever need help, I'll do it again and again, and you can't stop me.
Why, you big lump. Fine. Play the hero if it makes you happy.
Thanks, Nan. I won't let you down.
There's nothing he wouldn't do for you.
That's as maybe. But if he's ever to make his own way in life, he'll need to start looking out for himself as well. Till then, he'll need people to watch his back, just like you did in Dalimil. Don't think I didn't appreciate that.
Of course. His family.
Stop it. You make me one good eye, mister. I don't go thinking that'll do you any favours. A potion today'll cost you the same as it did yesterday.
It seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
So, did you have that word with Tomes then?
I did, and he was as helpful as ever. He told me exactly where to look, in fact.
And what precisely will I be cooking up? Or is it better not to know?
Blueback wyvern liver. And, a herb known as Saint's Bonnet.
Ah, wyvern livers, was it? Well, at least it weren't actual worms, I suppose. Now then, you stay right where you are. I've got some cooking to do. Let's hope these grand old chefs of yore knew what they were on about. And here we have it. Fried mortress of skyworm. Ivan's offered to make sure it's fit for consumption. Well, I say offered. He as good as begged.
And rightly so. Is there any higher honour than partaking in a slice of culinary history?
So, not fit for consumption then?
What witchery is this? The crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness. Yet, it is the piquant kiss of the saint's bonnet that tames this savage dish. It is a tour de force, a force of nature even, a maelstrom of flavour and sensation, a graceful beast emerging from centuries of slumber.
I think he likes it.
Well, I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking, but I reckon you might be right. It was decent then, I take it.
Decent? It's remarkable, and I defy any man to say a word to the contrary. Sid, might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and women to procure a dozen blueback wyverns forthwith?
I'll give it some thought. she the pair that got hauled into tires? Rutherford. Wasn't that the name of my uncle's manservant? Why would he be at Martha's Rest?
My lord Marquis, is that you? It is you. Then you received my letter. I am Sebastian Rutherford, chief steward of your lord uncle's estate.
Of course. We met once before.
Yes, my lord. Thank you for coming.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put it in writing?
1,000 apologies, my lord. I did not mean to offend. I merely...
It's all right. Continue.
I am here at Martha's Rest, at the behest of your lord uncle, tasked with learning what I am able of the realm's current state of affairs. And what I have learned is grim. The fall of the Mother Crystals has left Storm in a state of utter disarray. The subsequent darkening of the heavens has only... made things worse. Akashic attacks, once unthinkable, are now commonplace. The gears of governance have ground to a halt, and without a steady hand on the tiller, the realm threatens to drift into utter chaos. Your lord uncle, however, believes there is a way to avoid this fate, and is determined to see it set in motion.
That sounds like quite the undertaking.
It is. Hence my having enlisted the aid of several colleagues serving the 7 high houses. Alas...
Alas?
I have lost contact with 2 of those colleagues already. They are both able-bodied and trained in the sword, yet in these dark times even that may not prove sufficient to keep a man safe on the road.
So you want me to find them? I'll need to know where they went.
One I sent to investigate the Republic, the other the old Imperial capital of Oriflamme.
That doesn't exactly narrow it down. I suppose I'll start in Dalimil and work my way east.
Thank you, my lord. I shall pray for your success and safety.
It's not going to be easy finding one man in an entire republic. Let's hope someone here's seen something.